Hi everyone, I'm Aziz and I welcome you to another video in this series where we discuss output-based JavaScript interview questions. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so let's start with the first question. So in this question you can see we have one object and we are logging the object in the console. But in this object we have three keys. So we have A, then we have B, then we have again A. So what do you think? What would be the output of this object? So let me run this program for you and see the output. Let's run node example1.js and you can see that we got the output, and in this we have only two keys. First one is the A and second one is the B. Why is it so? The reason is pretty simple, that if we have multiple keys with the same name in the object, then the position of the key will remain same, but the value of the key will be replaced by the latest value in the object. So in this case, the first value will be 1 and the latest value is the 3. So 1 has been replaced with the value 3, which is why we got A there and B 2 in the console. Great. So let's move to next question. So over here you can see that we have a for loop, and this for loop is starting with 1 and it is going till less than 5, which means it is supposed to be logged 1, 2, 3 and 4. But let's see what output we are going to get. So let me run node example2.js. Now you can see that we are only getting 1, 2 and 4. What is the reason? So over here you can see that when the I is equal to 1, this condition becomes true because 1 is less than 5 and we get the console log, which is why we are getting 1. When I is equal to 2, again this condition is true, so we are getting true on the console. When I becomes 3, then we will fall into this if case, and the if case is saying that if the I is equal to 3, then we have to continue. So the keyword continue basically means this keyword force the for loop to skip the iteration. So which is why we are not getting 3 over here, because when I is equal to 3, then the continue keyword is skipping that iteration. And when I becomes 4, we are not going to fall into this condition because 4 is not equal to 3 and we get the console log of 4. So which is why we are getting 1, 2 and 4 instead of 1, 2, 3 and 4. Amazing. Let's move to next question. So over here we are adding a give me pizza property on the string prototype property. Okay. And this is going to be a function. Now over here we are initialized a variable with the name person with the value John. Now we are calling the give me pizza method on person variable. So now you have to tell me what would be the output of this code snippet. Okay, so let me run this code for you. Now you can see that we are getting a string as the console log, which says giving pizza to John, which is equal to this. Now the question over here is how we are getting this printed on the console. Okay, so let's understand. So over here you can see that this string is a primitive string, right? This is a primitive string. But here we are calling the method on this person primitive string. So how it is internally calling this method and giving us this output? So what happens in the JavaScript when we call any method on the primitive, the internal process kicks in and it's gonna implicitly convert the primitive into the wrapper object. And what is the wrapper object for the string? This string function. Okay, so this primitive string is converted into the wrapper object, and on that wrapper object this method will be called, which is why we got giving pizza to John in the console. Okay, and this is a implicit conversion. Okay, amazing. Now let's move to next question. Over here we have three objects A, B, C, and over here we are using the computed property of the A, where the key of A is going to be B and we are assigning value 1, 2, 3. Again we are using the computed property on A, where the key is going to be the C and the value we are assigning is 4, 5 and 6. And one more thing to notice here, that B and C is nothing but it's an object. So usually we use the string as a key of the object, but here we are using the object as a key. So now tell me what would be the output of these console log. Okay, is it going to be the error or what? So let's run this program to see the output. Example 4.js. Boom. So here you can see that the output is 456. Why is it so? So let's understand what is happening over here. So when you use key as the object, then internally the toPrimitive method of this object is going to be called by the JavaScript engine. And toPrimitive method of any object gives us a default string, which is equal to object, this one. So when you give B and C object as a key of A object, you will receive this as the string, like this. And you can see that both the strings are same, which means A has the property with the name this, which has value 1 2 3, and then we are replacing the 1 2 3 with the 4 5 6, which is why we are getting 4 5 6 when we are logging A B. So here also it's gonna convert it into this, right? So how can we prevent this behavior? Can we do something? Yes, absolutely yes. What we can do to prevent this behavior as we have to override the toString method in the object. Okay, like this. So this string method is going to be a function like this, and this function we can return a string representation of this object. So let me return the value of B. Okay, so we can use this dot key like this. Now when we run this program, now we will get the another output. You can see that now we are getting 1 2 3. Why is it so? So this time the object is not converted into this string. Instead it is using the toString method, which gives the key as B. Okay, so it will be replaced like this, B, and what is there in the B location? 1 2 3, which is why we are getting 1 2 3. I hope this is clear to you. Amazing. So let's move to next question. So over here you can see that we have 3 functions, and all of these 3 functions are arrow function. So in first arrow function we are logging first. In second arrow function we are using set timeout to schedule a function in the macro queue, which eventually logs the second in the console, and in the third arrow function we are logging the third. Now tell me what would be the output of this code snippet. So let me run program for you. So you can see that the output we are getting is first, then third, and then second. Why is it so? So let's understand. So when we call the bar function, what it's going to do, it's going to use the set timeout function, and it's going to schedule the callback in the macro queue. Okay, correct? And when we call foo, it's going to log the first in the console, and when we're going to call bars, it's going to console third in the console. So what is happening over here? When the event loop kicks in the first iteration of the event loop, the first task for the event loop is to execute this script. Okay, so when the event loop executes this script, it's going to log first in the console. Then when it executes set timeout, it's going to schedule a function in the macro queue. Then it's going to execute this statement. So we get first and third. Now in the second iteration, it's going to pick up the oldest task from the macro queue, and it's going to execute that, which is why we are getting second last in the console log. The reason is simple. The first and third gets printed on the first iteration, and the second gets printed in the second iteration. I hope this is clear to you. Amazing. Alright. So guys, this is pretty much all about these 5 questions. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.